Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind. We've got some leftist grifting to get into today. Well, the trend continues. I call it the BLM trend. We could call it the intersectionality trend. You know, it's a weird ideology. It's this unfortunate oppression Olympics nonsense that so many people have bought into. This ideology that nothing is their fault. They're simply victims of their circumstance. They're victims of their own identity and ethnicity. Everyone's a victim, and your victim score rises depending on how many criteria you meet. People actually buy into this nonsense and they try to use it in real life situations as a get out of jail free card. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Well, we have yet again one of those interactions as a young individual, clearly extremely intoxicated, gets pulled over for driving into oncoming traffic on the opposite side of the road. Yet when pulled over, when arrested, she claims to be the victim because she's, quote, non-binary, indigenous, and scared of white people. Specifically white police officers. Absolutely ridiculous. Let me show you guys exactly what happened. This is your mind on intersectionality grievance politics. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so let's play this interaction, but I'll probably edit some parts out, mainly, most of the stuff relating to mental illness, because I'd rather not emphasize on those points, and you never know how it's going to be perceived by the YouTube overlords, who seem so eager to destroy this channel at any opportunity that they can find. Let's play that clip.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Why are you driving in the wrong way of traffic?
No, I just got changed around. I just moved here like 2 months ago.
Okay.
I just got changed around.
Okay. Do you understand what's going on though?
Yes.
You're going into oncoming traffic.
I know, and I just decided that it was better just to turn around really quick. So,
okay.
But I'm sorry. I just have like really bad social anxiety and stuff.
I get you.
I don't want to step out whenever you're asking for stuff.
Okay, well we're past that. Just go ahead and step out.
As an indigenous person.
Right back here, please. Miss Perry?
Well, I'm non-binary, so.
Okay. What do you go by?
It's Kai.
How can I refer to you tonight? Kai?
Kai.
Okay. Hey, I'm smelling alcohol.
I know.
How much have you consumed tonight?
Like probably 3 drink.
I need to run you through some tests right now. Stand facing me, please.
But I just want you to know that I also have very bad social anxiety.
You and me both. Focus on my finger, please.
I am. You're just like trying to intimidate me.
I don't know how I'm trying to do that. This is the test.
As you know, as an indigenous person, and there's a bunch of going around, I'm sorry, but it's just for me to be on my toes.
I get you.
Can you remember that I told you that I'm non-binary?
Yeah, I'll try my hardest. I'll refer to you as Kai, right?
Yes.
Now with your right foot, place it in front of your left in a heel-to-toe touching manner with your arms by your side, just like this, ma'am.
Can you not call me ma'am, please?
I'm trying my hardest.
Okay, well,
Okay.
it means a lot to me.
I'm trying my
I don't
hardest.
feel like a man, so
Okay.
it's kind of triggering.
Right foot in front of your left. Nope, go back.
I'm sorry, but the whole man thing just like...
I apologize. Let's see if we can move forward from it. You have 0 questions?
No, but I just want to tell you that I suffer from really bad anxiety, especially with generational trauma and PTSD around white people and cops. Like, it's just...
I'm going to speak with you right over here, okay?
No.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and place your hands behind your back.
Don't, dude.
Don't make it hard.
Please.
Don't make it hard.
No,
Don't. You're going to get a resistance.
Dude,
You're going to get a resistance.
I
check.
don't.
Don't resist.
Don't.
Listen to me. Don't resist.
Don't. You're being
Come
a
here.
white man and
Come here.
don't. I followed all of your like, as an indigenous person, like, you guys. You guys are scaring me.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Yes, there is. It's called...
Yep, so it's pretty much exactly how I described it, right? Identity, 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 identity. It's nothing but identity. For people who have bought in to the woke nonsense, for people who have drank the woke Kool-Aid, everything is about identity and nothing else. You get pulled over, or anybody gets pulled over, all these leftoids tend to look at is what race was the police officer and what race was the individual being pulled over. Why is it relevant? Like, why is it relevant at all? Why is the fact that the police officer is a white man relevant irrelevant in this situation when we can all see what is going on. You have an individual who is a risk not only to herself, but to people around her, a person who should probably be locked up at this point. Although, let's be real, she's probably going to get a slap on the wrist. Somebody who clearly committed a heinous crime. Drunk driving above the legal limit is never justified. It's horrible, should be condemned totally, and people should receive severe punishment for endangering the public, especially while driving in the opposite side of the road. But this individual doesn't see it that way. This individual has bought in 100% to the victim narrative. I'm the victim. Why? Well, because of my identity. She literally said, I'm scared of white people. Where does that come from? Well, obviously that comes from the world of leftist academia. Obviously that comes from the world of communist Twitch.tv political commentators. And obviously the fact is, as I've pointed out many times before, this sort of leftist grievance identity politics ideology preys on the most vulnerable. The people who buy into this stuff wholeheartedly tend to be people with severe trauma or certain issues. I don't even want to say the word, again, the YouTube overlords, but you could pretty much understand the point that I'm making. There's so many elements of leftist ideology that seeks to empower people through their identity or perceived victim status, and you have very susceptible individuals who buy into this crap, 100% buy in, and then, well, you get what you saw on screen earlier. I don't blame this young girl, I blame the propaganda. And again, what it boils down to, as it usually does on the left, is a culture or an ideology of blame shifting, of never taking responsibility. Instead of taking responsibility for one's actions, simply play the victim card. Immediately go to your identity. I mean, that's the default. Go to your identity and use it as a weapon, use it as a tool of manipulation to attempt to cast yourself as the victim and the other party as the oppressor. On nearly every single issue, it's never your fault. It's always the white man's fault. It's always the patriarchy's fault. It's always the police officer's fault. It's always the Republican, those old white males in the Republican Party's fault. And even those old white males in the Democrat Party's fault. It's always somebody else's fault, and it's always built on a bullshit racial narrative. It's absolutely despicable. The amount of instances that I have seen, and especially recently, of people crying racism or discrimination in their encounters with police officers is just nuts. It's a never-ending grift. What does being indigenous have to do with driving on the wrong side of the road and endangering lives? And probably most disturbing is the amount of young leftists that we see that say stuff like, we're scared of white people, or we don't like white people. It shows just how toxic, deranged, and backwards leftist propaganda really is, just how destructive it is. They claim to be anti-racist, as they are literally in the process of creating what seems to be a young, woke, communist, racist army of young individuals who unironically hold this worldview, who unironically hold this position. When she said that about the white police officer, I don't know about you guys, but I actually believed her. I believe that she actually believes that. And that's the sad part, and that's what comes back to the leftist manipulation tactics. That's what they do, and that's why the ideology is so destructive and divisive. I feel bad for these young kids. I feel bad for people who are being fed this cocktail of victimology, of this patriarchy boogeyman, this lie, this fantasy of this oppressive apartheid regime. You live in the freest country on earth. You are afforded the most human rights, the most freedom of any human being that has ever walked this earth in the history of the world. But leftists tell these young people that they're oppressed, and that white people are dangerous and police officers are dangerous, and that actually they're the victim, and that they should never be held accountable for their actions, and that nothing is ever their fault, it's always someone else's fault. It's a destructive garbage ideology, and it's even more destructive, again, when that rhetoric targets people with certain psychological abnormalities and trauma. Anyways, that's pretty much the thesis of this video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.